It should be
Hey, Steph, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's up, bro? It's Jason Dumas with Cron 4. It was a different experience this year, but how was it overall? You know, it looked like you're having fun out there, especially the three-point contest. How was the Sunday overall?
It was awesome. I think having everything on in one night was different, but it was nice to have all the guys who were here in Atlanta on the court supporting each other, trying to bring some energy and having fun. And three-point shootout was obviously a big accomplishment in terms of that last rack and having fun with that and getting the job done, and then turn that into a win and some good shooting during the game. So a successful night all the way around.
Hey, Steph, I guess everyone's shy tonight. Kylan with Cron 4. What was it like being a teammate and playing with LeBron for the first time after being his competitor for so long?
It was a great experience. We had fun in the locker room, chopping it up. And, I know he was managing his minutes tonight, but it was good energy in the first quarter. And it's part of, being around this league long enough, and obviously the new format with the All-Star game and mixing and matching conferences, even though he's in the West now, it's bound to happen. And we had a great time, obviously representing him as a captain, Katie on the other side, and we got the win. So it was a memorable night for sure.
Yeah,
Hey, Steph, congrats on winning the three-point contest. How does it feel to be teammates with Dame, especially since a lot of people are comparing you with him in terms of you having long range? And how did it feel being just on the floor with him, exchanging threes, especially at the end of the first half?
I mean, we've been on the All-Star game together and been teammates before, but a lot of the talk about us extending our range and chatter over the summer and all that, it was, you couldn't draw it up any more perfect, and especially in that first half. With him taking the first half court shot, it kind of surprised me that he was launching it and barely missed, came back, redeemed himself, and then I got to finish it off before the half. So, obviously showing off our skill set, and I've been trying to do it for a long time, and it was good energy going back and forth and just showing off what we can do.
Steph, Chris Alvarez from ABC7. I saw the Warriors tweet the video of you shouting out Clay. Why was it important to do that, and how much are you looking forward to playing against Clay in an all-star three-point contest in the future?
Anytime I've been in an all-star or a three-point shootout, since 2015, we had a couple battles back and forth, and anytime you're shooting in this environment, you can't help but think about how much fun Clay would have, out there. And I know he's, trying to get healthy, and he'll be here next year. But it was, bringing the trophy back. I'm caught out, obviously the Splash Bros, bringing it back. I think it's in its rightful place right now, so we'll keep it.
Hey, Steph, it's Dan Wyke with the LA Times. You and LeBron have both accomplished so much in this league, but tonight was the first time you've ever been on the same team on an NBA court together like this. We saw the footage of you kind of watching the chalk toss and stuff like that. What are you going to remember about playing with LeBron for the first time?
I mean, it's not a specific thing. It's just, a great experience overall. And like you said, I had something I hadn't done before. We hadn't done before. So you can kind of check that off the list. But it's just a different vantage point for everybody when you come into an all-star locker room and you see the guys that you compete with night in, night out, and year after year. And got to acknowledge the respect that you have for everybody in there, because we all do it differently, but we all do it at a very high level. And obviously Bron's been doing it for a very long time. So there's so much respect there, even as you compete throughout the years.
Hey, Steph, Anthony Flores with energy was different surrounding this whole weekend and even the game today. obviously with the limited number of fans, just how would you describe the energy? Did it feel like an all-star game? Just how did the game feel to you out there?
The game itself felt the same. The only thing is, you can't really see the crowd in normal years, like outside of the courtside rows. The energy is definitely louder and more engaged with more people. But the only thing I was really missing was like the first, the courtside kind of vibe, the who's who sitting down there and just the energy around the court. I remember watching it last year in Chicago, and that was half the fun of the new format. And the ending was, everybody who was courtside or in that lower part of the state stands, just all locked in and engaged in the game. There's some dope photos of that. That was the biggest piece I was missing. Our families were here, but they were a little bit more subdued. So other than that, the game was pretty much the same.
Hey, Steph, Anthony Flores with NBC Bay Area. When this game was first announced, there were a few players who voiced some reservation about having it. Just wondering how you've gone through it, the experience, how you think the league pulled this off.
Yeah, there's obviously a big balancing act, and I know Adam Silver was trying to articulate that throughout this process. And obviously, as players, we have reactions to everything that happens because it's our world and we're living in it. So, it was still kind of a shock in terms of it not really being a talking point when the season started. But in terms of keeping things condensed so that, we come in, do our job, and, put on the show that we did tonight, and then get back to our respective, homes and enjoy a mini break before we start. Most teams on Thursday. That's kind of what it ended up being. I think mission accomplished, obviously. Hopefully everybody's safe and healthy. We know we had 2 guys in contact tracing, but hopefully they kind of pull through that and we get back to playing basketball in the second half.
Hey, Steph, congrats on the 3-point contest.
You got it.
Steph, congrats on the 3-point contest, man. I know in light of the HBCUs tonight, in light of what's been going on in our society and our world, I know this is a little bit deeper, man, but what are some of the lessons that you learned from 2020 that you can carry on so that this can be an everyday thing? I know a lot of things been happening with the Asian American community recently, so that social justice can be more of a conversation to continue it even beyond just the trend. I know shout out to Philippians 4:13, faith is huge for both of us. And so what are some of the things you've learned that can carry on in our society?
I don't know if I've learned anything. I think there's a lot of progress that has happened in terms of conversations, in terms of action and change, and the galvanizing of awareness. And a lot of guys in our league have been plugged into the community, been doing amazing work, supporting local communities. I was supporting HBCUs before 2020. Like all those things were happening, but I think collectively in our country as a whole, whatever side that you're on, the conversation or the debate or what have you, I feel like there's more of a collective commitment to what we all can do individually and as a group to do exactly what you said, like make this an everyday expectation as opposed to just a moment. So that's a positive sign. And I guess the one thing I have learned is just there's so many people that are doing amazing work across our country and in different communities. Obviously being in here in Atlanta, shout out to Stacey Abrams, who I got to meet and do some work with and support some of her initiatives. But across the board, there's so many people doing amazing things, and we all have a responsibility to continue to plug in. And like you said, it's not just Black Lives Matter. It's ending racism across the board, no matter what your background is. Stopping Asian hate, speaking for people that can't speak for themselves, and doing the work publicly and behind closed doors. So we all have to be accountable and committed to that.
Steph, it's David Aldridge, man. you've had the experience of an all-star weekend, a normal and spread out over several days. You've had this experience where it's kind of condensed. Does one feel more or less exhausting than the other?
Definitely the prior experiences are more exhausting. I would love this experience with just fans and more energy around, the city and the building in a safe manner. But having everything in one night was kind of cool.
Hey, Steph, Mark Medina here, USA Today. With you and Dame both doing your thing from deep, to what extent did you guys have any playful back and forth determining which one would be the guy to end the game with a three?
It all happens naturally. We didn't even choreograph that at all. I saw as soon as he got the ball, I'm starting to do celebration before he even shoots. Same with me. Just kind of feeling the game out and taking shots that we think we can make, we know we can make, but we're just trying stuff.
Hey, Steph, this is Davide from Italy. How happy are you to be back here on this stage on the All-Star game after all you went through?
It means a lot. Like you said, there's a lot of work that went in over the last year, and I'm happy and blessed and grateful to God that I'm healthy this year and able to do what I love at the highest level and be recognized for it individually, and just trying to keep things moving in the right direction for the second half of the season. So this is a really cool milestone, and it's good to be back, with the best 24 in the league.
Hey, Steph, you always hold that follow through at that last shot in the 3-point contest. When it left your hand, did you know it was good?
Absolutely. And if I would have missed, I would have held my follow through even harder. It felt good. So I'm glad it went in. So it made me look even better.
Hey, Steph, it's Rachel Nichols. You keep saying best 24. I know you like playing with all the guys out there, but is there anyone in particular to sort of be on the side of seeing it from within your team, whether it's Giannis or LeBron or any of the guys that sort of experiencing their game from the other direction felt cool to you tonight?
I mean, honestly, it's everybody. Because everybody does it differently, and there's a respect across the board for the talent, the skill level, the experience. For everybody that got to suit up here. It was also really cool to see Mike Conley here. I've forever, called him, along with Drew Holiday, one of the most underrated point guards in the league since he's been in the league. He's been consistently great, but has never had the opportunity to be, an all-star until this year. And I don't care about replacements and all that type of stuff. It's a more than well-deserved honor. So it's awesome to see him out here in year 14. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Thanks, Steph.
Hey, Steph, this is Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Talk with Chris. Talk with Chris about the exchanging the lobs, the lob dunks. He said you two had talked about that before. Maybe can you just take us through that, how that came about?
That was the only thing that was choreographed tonight. And it was between me, him, and Dame. We were kind of discussing athleticism, if you will, and how we both like to jump. And you could tell we both didn't know what the hell we were talking about, because we were talking about getting oops. We could only do it from one side, so we were trying to find a way to get each of us an opportunity to throw one and catch one. So it happened quick. It was Dame, then me, then CP, and everybody connected. So it was a pretty cool moment to show off whatever athleticism and hops that we still have in our old legs.
Thanks, Steph.
Steph, James Hill with Black News Channel, BNC Sports. What memories will you take away from this particular All-Star experience in Atlanta? And I know it's different, but just talk about this year's experience.
I still appreciate just being here and enjoying being an all-star and what the weekend usually means. And even with everything being different this year, I still had a great time out there. I still love basketball, and it drives you. Obviously, we want to win and be in the playoffs and in finals and chasing championships. But along the way, some acknowledgement in terms of being an all-star is pretty awesome.
The HBCUs and the COVID relief. Can you talk about some of the charities that are taking place?
I mean, yeah, they talked about how much money was raised tonight. I think over 3 million, I think, in total throughout the weekend. And to put historically black colleges, universities on the national, radar and national map in terms of the culture, the excellence, and just the community. I think that goes a long way. I grew up in Charlotte and used to go to Johnson C. Smith and work out at their gym. And Coach Joyner, who's the head coach there, was a great, family friend, and used to see him all around the city. And so to kind of see that full circle, obviously the stuff that I've been doing with Howard University and the like, there's a lot of good that's coming from those colleges and universities, and want to continue to support them and put them on the map.
We'll have 2 more questions here. First with Chris Alvarez and then Dorothy Gentry.
Hey, Steph, I just wonder how many 3-point contests you had as a kid growing up against your dad and brother, and how fun were they? If you had them, I'm sure you had a lot, right?
Yeah, too many to count, but I don't know what the tally is. But you're only as good as your last game, so I'm the champ in the family right now.
Luka. Hi, Steph. Hi. At this point in your career, what fuels you? What more do you have to accomplish?
I have a lot to accomplish. I don't have anything to prove. There's a little subtle difference there, but what drives me is just having fun. I truly love to play basketball. I'm just, appreciative and grateful that it's at the highest level, and I get to kind of still pursue a higher level of excellence on the court. Because we all know, our careers have a finite window, and you never know when the basketball gods, if you will tell you to hang them up. So as long as I feel healthy and strong and able to keep doing what I'm doing, the joy naturally comes out. And that fuels everything, with my teammates, with, that season to season grind, chasing championships and all that. I just love it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Steph. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steph.